Okay, so today is August 11th, Tuesday, I believe. It's our anniversary, and I kind of have a few minutes, so I figured I would sit down and tell you guys what we did to conceive this cycle. I had a lot of people ask what we did, so I figured I'd make a quick video to tell everybody what exactly happened and what exactly we did do that it worked for us. I am planning, this is not really a pregnancy update, I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow, because then I'm gonna try to upload those on Wednesdays, because as of right now my weeks turn over on Thursdays, so that way I can let you know how the last week went. And obviously the first one will be like weeks 3 and 4. So anyway, this is just going to be, like I said, to explain to you guys what we did to conceive this cycle. I have it written down on my phone, so I'm kind of more prepared this time around. So if you guys see me looking down, that's why. I guess I should start like this. I was on the Femera. I tried one cycle on 2.5. I did not ovulate on my own. So I took the progesterone again to get my cycle started, and then I took the Femera 5 milligrams, and that actually made me ovulate. And I got my period. I think I had a 33-day cycle that time around, and then my new cycle started on July 8th. So yeah, I had 4 days of period and then 1 day of spotting, and that was it. Cycle day 3 to 7, I took my Femera 5 milligrams. I took it at night just to make sure that I was okay. I just had side effects the first time around, I think just because my body was so like confused with what this was and trying to maybe get rid of it or something. But the 5 milligram, I had no side effects whatsoever. Maybe a small headache here and there, but other than that, nothing at all, which is great. So then on cycle day 7, like the last day of my Femera, I went to bed, and it was another one of those hot phases, which we have again this week, and I'm not looking forward to it. And what happens is, like, our house heats up too much, so the AC is on, and I get I get sick really quickly, like super quick. I have to just drive with the window open and get cold air blown at my face, and that's it, I'm sick. So that's what happened. It was hot outside, so you sweat outside, you come inside, it's nice and cool, you get AC blown at you, and I got sick. Again, that was the second time within like 3 weeks. Anyway, so yeah, cycle day 7, I got sick that night. I had a sore throat when I woke up, and headaches and stuff, and a fever, and it got really bad on cycle day 8. So Matt took me to the Medi Center, and I got put on more antibiotics, which I took from cycle day 8 to 18. It was like 10 days worth. So I was sick, like really sick, from cycle day 7 to 10 or 11, I'm not quite sure. So yeah, I was just sitting at home like really sick. And then on cycle day 9, for some reason, well, I was supposed to start taking OPKs like cycle day 8 to whatever, but cycle day 8 I was sick as a dog. There was no point. I was really thirsty, my pee was diluted. So on cycle day 9, I actually got to take one, and it was positive. So positive, like I've never ever seen before. And same on cycle day 10, it was so positive. So I remember freaking out around that time, because I was like, last time I don't think I ovulated until like cycle day 20 something. So this being a positive at cycle day 9 and 10 was pretty intense for me, because it happened so fast. And I was freaking out because I had strep throat, as it turned out later on. So there was no really like bleeding around that time, and I'm like, oh gosh, so like this whole cycle is a bust, haha. But yeah, so we're just freaking out around that time. But I took my temps, and nothing got ever confirmed that it was my ovulation, so that kind of passed. And then I got another positive OPK on cycle day 16. Now, that was my only positive OPK. I think it was in the afternoon, if I remember right. And that's usually when I get my positive OPKs, I think. Also, the difference between the cycle day 9 and 10 positive OPKs to cycle day 16, I usually take the Wanfos to check my ovulation, and then I usually confirm with the clear blue smiley digi ones. And for the positive on cycle day 9 and 10, I never got the positive on the Digi, but I did get it on the 16 one. So that to me was kind of like, okay, like I think that's how I knew which one was the real one after all. And it did get confirmed too with my temperature chart. Now, according to my temperature, I ovulated on cycle day 17, and I'm pretty sure that's when I felt the egg pop out as well. According to my due date right now, they think that I actually ovulated the same day as my positive OPK, so cycle day 16. But I guess we'll know more once we go to the ultrasound. Okay, so then as for the BDing, we BD'd on cycle day 13, so before the positive OPK. We BD'd on cycle day 15 before the positive OPK, and then I got the positive OPK and we BD'd that night. And like, so cycle day 16 would BD too. And on that cycle day 16 BDing, we actually used Pre-Seed for the first time. Excuse me. Not a lot, just a little bit to kind of try it out. And I'm pretty sure it's like a pretty big part of why we got pregnant. So if you haven't given it a thought, you should definitely look it up and maybe order some. It is usually like pretty expensive, but I was lucky enough to get it passed on from Emily, who got pregnant with a Pre-Seed as well that cycle. So I don't know if we just got a lucky tube or I don't know, but it's pretty amazing. And to me, I think it like contributed to the fact like that it helped, because like I said, we BD'd that cycle day 16 with the Pre-Seed, and then around cycle day 16 or 17 I ovulated, and then we BD'd again 18 and 19. So we had a break on 17, and also I remember on cycle day 18 BDing, I was really late because I was out with some friends and I didn't get home until like midnight, so that's kind of when we BD'd just to make sure we're covered, and we kept going on cycle day 19 as well. So just to sum it up again, it was cycle day 13, 15, and 16. 16 being with the Pre-Seed, and then 18 and 19. So there was like about almost, I want to say almost 2 days around ovulation that we didn't even BD, because it was like we BD'd that cycle day 16 with the Pre-Seed at night, and then nothing at 17, and not until midnight again on 18. So I was actually quite surprised that it worked. So maybe my doctor is right, or my nurse, and we did actually ovulate, like I did actually ovulate on 16. Or my egg really popped out when I think on 17 and the sperm was still waiting. I have no idea. But we'll see how everything goes when we go to our ultrasound. So then I guess like I watched my temps, and as for my temps, here, hold on. I feel horrible about keep looking down, but I just want to make sure that I get everything right. So as for my temps, I'm gonna show you guys my chart. Actually, let's just do that. I'll show you my chart. And it went high, but compared to my other ones, it was still lower because I'm used to it being at like 98.5 right away, and it stayed low and just kind of slowly went up. So that's kind of what it looked like. And on the first there's a green line because that's when I started testing positive. Okay, so then like you guys seen with the chart, my temperatures were, like I said, lower than normal, like what I'm used to, but they kept steady. So then on 9 DPO, around there, depending on when I actually ovulated, but if I assume I ovulated on cycle day 17, then I would be 9 DPO. So that morning, it was Sunday morning of our long weekend, and for some reason I had the urge, like I went for a shower and I realized I never peed yet, and had to pee all of a sudden really bad. And I felt like I wanted to test, but I only had 2 Wanfos left, and I think one of those, oh yeah, then I had one of those clear blue ones left of the Pyrages, and I think 1 digital, but I didn't want to use them because usually 9 DPO is still pretty early, so I wanted to wait and see what my temps were doing, and I think I couldn't even take my temp that morning. So what I ended up doing was just taking an OPK just to see what it's at, and it wasn't really dark, but it wasn't faint either, like it wasn't in between, which kind of made me go So I used that same urine again, and I just took one of the Wanfo pregnancy tests, and I took it, I put it off to the side, I started blow drying my hair, and I was in the bathroom and Matt was on the couch, and I didn't want to tell him that I planned to test like this weekend just because I wanted it to be a surprise, which didn't really work out. So as I'm like brushing my hair and stuff and putting some makeup, no, I don't think I can put any makeup on. So like I look over at the test and I'm like, wait, what? So I look at it, and like our bathroom lighting is really shitty. Like, so I'm like, crap, but I can't walk out to the window because Matt's sitting right outside. So I'm like, I don't care. I really don't care. So I walk out and I'm like, I don't want to do this, because if it is what I think it is, then I don't want it to like come out like this, but I need a second opinion and I don't have anybody. So we went to the door and open it and kind of turn it and stuff, and I'm just sitting there like smiling because I'm like, I think I know what it is. And Matt's looking at it and he's like, I see it. And he usually never sees lines. Like, he doesn't have line eyes like me. So he's like, no, I see it. There's something and there's pink. So what does that mean? I'm like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, what does it mean? I'm like, well, 2 lines, any kind of 2 lines mean we're pregnant. And he's like, no way. Like, no way. I'm like, uh-huh. And he's like, that's crazy. Like, he kept looking at it. I'm like, I'm not kidding. I can see it. And I'm like, yeah, I think me too. And like, it was so faint, and you'll have to go back and look at the videos and stuff. And I don't think you could even see it on the camera, but yeah, it was special anyway. So I was like, I don't care. Matt went and started breakfast. So I'm like, I'll just take one of those clear blue pluses. With that blue, like if you're positive you get a plus, and if it's a negative it just stays with the control line being a negative. And I put it down, and as soon as I put it down and the blue went across, I could see the line, like better than the Wanfo one, and there was definitely a second line making it a plus. And I just broke down. I'm like, babe! And he's like, what? And he came running in. I'm like, don't pick it up yet because the 3 minutes aren't over yet, but look at it. And he's like, yeah, there's like a plus. Why? I'm like, well, look at the side. What does it say? And he's like, oh my gosh. So, yeah, so that was 9 DPO. The clear blue was definitely darker than the Wanfo for us. It was easier to see, and even my friends, like I showed my mom that day, and I texted Emily, and she agreed too that she could see that one easier. So, we went out that day and bought more tests. So 10 DPO is when I tested again in the morning and the line got darker. And on 9 DPO actually I tested with digital too, but it said not pregnant. So that kind of bummed us out because we were like, oh, maybe it isn't or something. So then 10 DPO, I took, like I said, another clear blue, one of those plus ones, and it was definitely darker. And then I took the digital one to try and see if it'll work now, and it actually said pregnant 1 to 2 weeks. So that was a really surreal feeling to see that, because you just feel like you're looking at somebody else's pregnancy test because you haven't had any symptoms. Around that time last week, I think I was like 3 weeks and 3 days or something like that. So I'm really one of the lucky ones that caught it that early and that got to celebrate that early. On the other hand, it kind of sucks too because that time is passing way slower. Like other people don't find out until they're like 4 or 5 weeks along or something, and I'm sitting here counting days since like 3 weeks and something. So it's definitely different, and I'll get into the whole pregnancy symptoms and stuff tomorrow in tomorrow's video. So for right now, I figured I would just do this to let everybody know how we got pregnant and what we did differently. As for differently, we didn't really do too much except like luckily BD right before that positive OBK and kind of kept going longer than we did last time. So our bases was covered a little bit more, but I still didn't think it was going to happen just because we actually missed most likely the actual ovulation day. And then obviously like the pre-seed, that was the biggest thing that was different. So I hope this helped you guys. If you have any more questions or need anything written out, please let me know and don't hesitate to comment. I'm trying to get back to everybody. Still a little overwhelmed with all the congrats comments, but it feels really amazing, and I think that's the only way that I kind of feel like I am pregnant right now, even though symptoms are starting to pick up. So, but I'll get into that tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then. Bye guys!